Hi guys, this is going to be a very casual and spontaneous video. Spontaneous because I was not planning on recording this, but I'm going on a trip to northern Alabama to visit my boyfriend's family, and I figured I would walk you through all the things that I packed with me makeup wise. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do a skincare one, but I figured let's just start with the makeup. And I am taking everything in this bag right here. I got it at Target many years ago, and it has some divisions, and that's where I keep everything. So if you are interested in seeing what I'm taking with me to a very hot and humid place, then please keep watching. Okay, so starting off with base products, I'm taking my Luminous Silk Foundation by Giorgio Armani. This is pretty much my holy grail foundations for special events. So I would wear this if I'm going to a dinner or just somewhere where I know I'm going to be photographed and I want my skin to look perfected. I really love this, and I would recommend it for those with dry to normal skin. If you have oily skin, stay away from it, but I really love this. I'm also taking, for lighter coverage, the Vino Perfect Radiant Scented Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 20 by Caudalie. This is super light. It has a very light texture, but it also has very light coverage. So this is pretty much just if I'm going out during the day and I want to even out my skin tone. And then if I have some spots I want to cover up and conceal, I will go with my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. I've had this spot for like 3 years now and it's still going strong. But I also like to wear this as a foundation. And it's a little too yellow, a little too strong for me, even though I have a yellow undertone. So I'm also taking with me the Makeup Forever Chromatic Mix for oil base, and this is in the shade White. This is something I recently got at Sephora, and all you do is you just mix a drop or two. It depends on how much you want to lighten your foundation. You apply it to, well, you have to mix it in with your foundation and blend it out, mix it in, and once you get your color, you apply it to your skin. Now, I know a lot of people have trouble applying this foundation, and the way that I've always applied it is by mixing 1 drop of oil. Any facial oil will do, but it just helps the product become easier to blend out and easier to spread. This is pretty much the most full coverage foundation that I own, but it's so multi-purpose and I love it. And I would also, again, if I will only use this if I decide to use that foundation all over my face. But that's if I want like really extreme hardcore coverage. As far as concealers go, I am taking my Bobbi Brown Corrector. This is the shade Bisque. And this is pretty much something that you need if you have very dark circles. So this is just something that's going to come handy if I look really tired. And then over that, I will apply my Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay. I love this concealer. It's very lightweight, has great medium to full coverage. It's very easy to blend out, and it's just pretty much my go-to foundation nowadays. In terms of color enhancers, I'm taking my Becca Shimmery Skin Perfector in the shade Moonstone. I like to apply this all over my skin if I want a very dewy base. I will first apply this, then my foundation, and you just get a megawatt glow. I love it, but I also like using a little bit on the top of my cheekbones if I decide not to use it under my foundation. It's a more subtle way of creating a highlight, and it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful and very travel friendly, so that's pretty nice. And I'm also taking my Bourjois Healthy Balance matte finish and natural healthy glow. This is my favorite powder. I wish Bourjois was sold in the United States. It's just great because the good thing about this powder is that you can apply it anywhere where you get shiny, but it does not look heavy or cakey or flat at all. It looks like you have nothing on your skin, but it somehow minimizes the shine while keeping the radiance of the skin. I'm going to take these contour sticks by Smashbox. These are so easy to use and fun and look very natural once you put them on your skin. I do like to blend them using a damp beauty blender, but these are just beautiful, photograph awesome. And something I do want to point out is that you do have to set these with the powder, otherwise they will look shiny. You need something to set them with. So if I'm going to use, let's say, the highlight shade, I will set it with the Bourjois powder. And then to set the contour, I will use my Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in the shade Medium. And then to set the bronzer, I would use any bronzer. And for that, sorry about that, I'm going to put my phone on silent. For that, I would just use my bronze shade in the Lorac Pro To Go palette. I love highlights and yeah, pretty much a really glowy highlight on the top of the cheekbones, and I really love the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo. This is in the shade number 2. You get a nice bronzy shade for bronzer, and then you get this gorgeous gold highlight, which is pretty much a dupe for Whisper of Guilt by MAC or Heatwave by Estee Lauder, which I was never able to get my hands on. So this is gorgeous, and anyone with olive undertones, and I really love it. And then in terms of lip products, I am just taking 4 products. I am taking Pepper by Bite Beauty, which is this very beautiful nude, kind of nude dusty rose, which goes well with any smoky eye or any subtle eye looks. I'm also taking MAC Ruby Woo, which is pretty much the classic red, and that's this one right here. I'm also taking the lip liner that goes with it, which is also called Ruby Woo, and I love that paired with like a really crisp wing line. And then I'm also taking Peach Club by Bourjois, which is this nice subtle peachy color. So those are my lipsticks. For the eyes, I'm taking the Lorac Protego palette, which is my favorite palette to travel with because you get 6 eyeshadows, which are all neutrals and very pigmented and very great quality. And then you also get 3 face products. You get 2 blushes, and then you get a bronzer. And I also like using these as eyeshadow sometimes, and they're just really good. And you also get a nice big mirror here in case you need to use it. I'm taking 2 eyeliners. One is the Urban Decay Glide On Pencil, the 24/7 one. This is a double-ended one. You get the shade Demolition, which is a brown, and then you get Perversion, which is just a matte black. They're both matte. These are the only eyeliners that I've tried that stay on my waterline, and that's the reason I love them. And I'm also taking the Scandalized by Rimmel in the shade Nude, I believe. Yeah, Nude. And I like using this on the waterline to create the illusion of bigger eyes. But this tends to transfer sometimes. However, it's very cheap, so I can't complain. Let's see, what else? My favorite mascara is the Hypnose Drama by Lancome. I have very flat lashes, very stubborn, very straight, and this is pretty much the only mascara that is able to give me length, volume, and it really holds the curl in place, and this isn't even the waterproof version, so that's coming with me. And then I'm taking my Inglot number 77 gel liner. This is my go-to gel liner to create a wing liner. And then for eyebrows, I am taking the Anastasia Dip Brow because this is just something that stays on your brows and doesn't budge, and it's waterproof, very long lasting and long wearing. I'm taking a spoolie just to comb my eyebrows, and I'm taking the Sephora Tinted Brow Freeze. This is a crayon, but it's so easy to use. This is something that I will use when I just want to get my brows nice and groomed in a very fast way, because I just have to kind of just go over my brows, and it's very waxy, so it adheres to, it just works better if you have kind of full brows and you just want to make them look a little bit more even and fill out any gaps. So I really like this. I love my Real Technique brushes. I feel like they're very affordable, high quality, and durable. So I'm taking my buffing brush, which is this one, because I like using this to either buff out my foundation or set my foundation with powder. So because of the shape, it's just nice and stiff but flexible at the same time, so it's gentle enough to tap powder onto the skin without disturbing the foundation underneath. And then I'm also taking the sculpting brush, which I use to apply my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder with. And I am taking the MAC 168, which I use to apply blush with. And then I'm taking this the Crown Royal Super Eye Fluff C448, which looks like this. And I like using this to apply my highlight on the top of my cheekbones. And I'm taking the Sonia Kashuk brush, which has no name, but it looks like this. I like using this to dust any bronzer if I want to bronze out my skin. And of course, my beauty blender is coming with me. And as far as eye brushes go, probably the most important one for me is a 210 because it's so tiny, and I use this to apply my gel eyeliner to create a very sharp wing. Of course, my blending brushes have to come along, so I'm taking 2 MAC 217s, to buff out and blend out any colors on the crease and make them nice and smoky. And I'm taking the 221, which is perfect to apply a darker color on the crease and to add intensity. I'm taking this Revlon double-ended brush, which just has an angle brush here, and it just has this tiny brush here, which is pretty much just something that I would use to apply, let's say, highlight on my tear duct, or to smudge out any colors here under my bottom lash line. So that's that. And I'm also taking my Anastasia number 15 brush. I use this to apply dip brow, and MAC 219 to blend any colors under my lash line. Real Techniques, what is this, Deluxe Crease Brush, which comes in handy either to blend out colors, eyeshadows on the eyes, or to, excuse me, blend out concealer under my eyes. And I'm also taking the MAC 239, which is a flat brush. I like using this to apply any color on the actual lid, and then let's say I do like a gold here, and then I use a 217 to blend out a nice warm matte brown. The two miscellaneous products, or actually three that I wanted to include, are the DermaDoctor Picture Perfect Pore Minimizer. I was giving this sample by a DermaDoctor rep at Sephora, and he swore by this. He said that this is just perfect to use in very humid environments where it's really hot and sweaty. This controls oil and sweat supposedly, so I'm looking forward to trying this on a very hot day out, and I will keep you posted on my next video. If it's worth talking about, I'll mention it, but I thought that what he said sounded perfect for this type of weather, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm also taking my Beauty Blender Solid Cleanser, which is my go-to, I've hit pan already on it, it's my go-to brush cleanser. It just makes your brushes white, like it cleans them up perfectly no matter how dirty they are. And I'm taking this Sephora double-ended mirror. There's a magnifying side to it and then just a regular, you know, thing. And I like this because when you use a magnifying mirror to apply, you know, your gel liner, I didn't think it was true. I didn't think it would make a difference, but it actually makes it easier to apply and get a sharper line. Normally I would just do it in front of a regular mirror, but it really does make a difference, so I'm taking this with me just in case. So again, this is a kind of rush video, but I have very little time. I'm actually leaving tonight and we're driving there, so it's going to be a very long drive, but I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was pretty random, but I thought that it would give you some ideas in case you're doing a very short trip. I am going back home to Venezuela in July, so I'm gonna take more stuff with me, and I'm thinking about doing another video for that, for kind of a longer trip. So let me know if you guys like these kinds of videos, and I will try to do more of them. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Bye!